My mind is blown. Drama, chaos, controversy. And I absolutely loved it. That game had everything. 4 goals, an Arteta defensive masterclass, a red card, 100 Man City goals for Erling Haaland already, a refereeing controversy. A 97th minute equaliser, aggro at the end. A proper rivalry has been born. That was sensational. It was football in its purest form. In other words, it was a delectable medley of footballing splendour. That was the game of the season so far. We are in for a title race, ladies and gentlemen. The rivalry that has been sparked today could go on for another decade. That is what happens. When rivalries are born like this, they do not fade away easily. And we saw it at the end. It was poison, it was aggro, it was aggression, and it was beautiful. That is what we want from Premier League football. We do not want opposition players cuddling one another at the full-time whistle. What we want is genuine antipathy, genuine hatred, genuine desperation to win. And you can see that this Manchester City squad are built on winners. But we knew that already. But what we learned about Arsenal today, and that is why Arsenal fans should have their heads held so high. That is why Arsenal fans should be over the moon with that result. And I will go on as to explain why. But what we learned about them today is that they are winners. And we, as football fans now, are incredibly lucky because we are going to witness a defining era of the Premier League. This rivalry will go on. Gabriel Jesus getting stuck in against his former team at the end. Jack Grealish right at the heart of everything going on. Bernardo Silva, loads and loads of needle. Erling Haaland launching the ball into Gabriel's head from behind. Asking that Lewis Skelly who exactly he is. Rude, unacceptable, some would say. Beautiful, I would say. That is football. Spite, venom, rivalry, hostility. It was huge. And over the years, we have seen these rivalries be born. Chelsea versus Liverpool, Jose Mourinho versus Rafael Benitez, for example. Manchester United versus Arsenal twice. First, the era of George Graham. Second, the era of Arsene Wenger. That was also huge. Manchester United versus Chelsea. There are so many, and they do genuinely live forever. But overall, Manchester City should feel incredibly relieved. Their unbeaten home streak continues. 48 games unbeaten at home. But my God, they were so lucky. They really were so lucky because Arsenal 100% deserved the 3 points. There's no doubt about that. They were sensational. Arsenal from top to bottom deserved the 3 points. They were magnificent. They were let down by one player. One player cost Arsenal the victory today, and that one player should hang his head in shame. That player is Leandro Trossard. I mean, what on earth was he doing? For what, 3 weeks now, since Declan Rice got sent off against Brighton, all we've spoken about at Arsenal is kicking the ball away. That has been the focus of the club. The penalty of what happens when you kick the ball away. What did Leandro Trossard do so foolishly? He's on a yellow and he's going to go and smash the ball away after a foul. How foolish can you get? So foolish. And I tell you what, I think Arsenal fans need to adopt a slightly different mentality here. I think Leandro Trossard's a remarkable footballer. Everyone knows how highly I rate him. Everyone knows, who's ever watched me talk about football, that I think Leandro Trossard is a top-class Premier League player. But he cost his team today. And Arsenal fans need to not talk about the referee. They need to not make excuses for Leandro Trossard. He needs to be accountable. He needs to take some responsibility. It was a correct sending off. Just like you could argue Declan Rice, it was a correct sending off. Arsenal fans need to expect more. Stop forgiving the players. Because Leandro Trossard there has cost his team. To a man, I remember there was a headline when David Beckham got sent off against Argentina. And the headline was, 10 brave lions, 1 stupid boy. I think that is the headline that would be the perfect summary of the game today from an Arsenal perspective. A load of brave lions. Everyone, from the manager down. 1 stupid boy who massively cost his team. I would genuinely mean it. For 2 weeks, we've been talking about Arsenal struggling because of kicking the ball away. Call it harsh if you want. If you think that sending off was harsh, you can call it that. But I'm afraid Leandro Trossard needs to be much cleverer than that. Apart from Trossard, I think Arsenal should really hold their heads high. I think they were heroic. They were gladiatorial. They were in an amphitheatre, fighting to the bitter end. And the Arsenal team, Mikel Arteta got it so right. He tactically fought Pep Guardiola. He declared war on his former boss. Tactically. He took the fight not only to Pep Guardiola's home stadium, but to Pep Guardiola's home arena. Tactician. He took it to him. He was exceptional. And Nico Jova, yet again, deserves huge amounts of plaudits. Of course, the Arsenal players put that into effect. The Arsenal team, the way they set up at that corner without their architect, Ben White, to make sure that the ball ended up in the back of the net off the back of missing one. There was a moment 10 minutes before the goal, 10 minutes before Gabriel nods it in, where Gabriel missed one that he had to score. We were saying you don't get chances like that at City, but thanks to Nico Jova's brilliance, they forced it again. They found another way. They deployed a slightly different system, and Kyle Walker let his man go. And the ball, the delivery, the movement, everybody doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Making sure that you adopt a position just in front of the goalkeeper. Martinelli, very clever. And Jova, again, getting it right. There were some unbelievable performances from an Arsenal perspective. Sensational. Historic. Brilliant. Like truly, truly heroic performances at the back. I mean, defensively, they were so solid. Saliba, unreal. Gabriel, unreal. David Raya, oh my God. David Raya, Julian Timber. I mean, who's man of the match? Timber? Raya? Raya has been an amazing signing, hasn't he? Again, Arteta deserves so much credit for that because it felt to me like he had blown up his back line when they brought him in. Ramsdale was doing well. Ramsdale was getting selected for England. Ramsdale was starting Arsenal attacks. Mikel Arteta strengthened a position of strength. He identified Raya. And look what David Raya did for Arsenal in the week in Bergamo. Look at that double save in the week and look at what he's done today. Easily, you could argue that he could be man of the match. I mean, I thought Timber was immense. I really, really did. But it's hard to see beyond it being David Raya, isn't it? But Arsenal fans, I imagine they're feeling gutted. But I think they're completely wrong. Today was a symbolic victory. Okay, it ended in disappointment. Okay, it ended with a point. But allow me to make this case. People who didn't believe that Arsenal could win the league, they now believe that you can. People who believe that there was a chasm of quality between Man City and between Arsenal don't believe that chasm exists anymore. People who thought that Mikel Arteta was not capable of going head-to-head and competing with Pep Guardiola don't think that anymore. There has been a rewriting, almost a redefinition of Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club, those that once doubted them have watched that 90 minutes and now think that they are capable. That alone is the victory. The fact that you are leaving the Etihad, having taken the game to Manchester City, having dominated and dictated the tempo of the game when there is 11 versus 11, is a statement. To then have to totally re-employ different tactics, set up in a different way, Mikel Arteta got it so right. And I know it will feel like 2 points have been dropped, but I think we really do have to acknowledge quite how well Arsenal have played, quite what Arsenal have done, and also appreciate exactly what Mikel Arteta did. Went for it, was losing the game. Erling Haaland scored his 100th goal. 10 goals in 5 games. Unbelievable. Didn't do enough in the whole game, but a wonderful goal. You're a goal down at City. It's difficult. What do? He found his way back into the game, kept calm, did exactly what he wanted to do. Then it all goes wrong because of that foolish, idiotic moment from Leandro Trossard. Again, what does Mikel Arteta do? Redefines the team, reimagines the tactics. Ends up playing a sort of 6 at the back. 6-3. It really was impressive. It really was. And ultimately, Arsenal should feel incredibly proud of what they achieved. To go to the Etihad, to dictate the tempo, to go a goal down, and ultimately be disappointed that you didn't win, really does lay a marker down to Manchester City. From a City perspective, however, they got the point. They found a way. They didn't deserve it. At various points, they were resorting to shooting from 30 yards. Basically, Ruben Diaz having a pot shot, which Arsenal was letting them do. I've seen these nonsense stats floating around, by the way. You're going to see these. I think Kai Havertz didn't make any passes. Don't be fooled by those stupid analysis stats. They mean nothing. I don't like praising Kai Havertz. I most certainly do not enjoy celebrating Kai Havertz. I don't particularly rate him. I don't think he has been a great signing for Arsenal. And I will argue with anyone who thinks that he has been the player that they need him to be. But anyone that finds any kind of humour or glory in the Timber and Kai Havertz stat, having not completed any of their passes. I think Julian Timber tried 6 passes, didn't succeed with any. The geezer was wicked today. I think Kai Havertz tried five passes, didn't connect with any Arsenal player out of any of those five. Again, he was wicked today. They both were incredibly good. Both tried so hard. Both covered every blade of grass and both fought for the cause. So those stats are incredibly foolish and incredibly misleading. But if City ultimately win the league, they will look back on this day. They will look back on this point. And you know, they do that thing. I think they call it 93-20 when Sergio Aguero scored. They may well look at the minute. Must have been 97 something. Whatever the exact timing of John Stones' equaliser, that could go down in history. It really will go down as one of the biggest goals ever scored in that stadium if they go on to win the league. Huge game, wonderful game of football, incredible from so many, the right amount of aggression, the right amount of needle, the right amount of talking points. God, that was football, distilled, pure heroin football. It was a joy to behold. Overall, in my opinion, I think it's our advantage, Arsenal, in the title race. I would love your thoughts on that. I would love to hear what you have to say. So please do let me know. Did you love it? The only other talking point, my God, it could be the biggest talking point of the whole day, in fact. Rodri, injured, could miss some games. What are the ramifications of that? Because Mateo Kovacic came in and he just is not comparable. When you watch Declan Rice play the way that he did today, you remember when it looked like Rice was going to Man City? Imagine if they had captured him. I mean, it would have been a wrap, wouldn't it? I thought Rice had a very good game as well. An amazing game of football, an amazing night, a joy to behold. Let me know your thoughts. Please do me the honour of gifting me your thoughts, because the second I put this video live, I'm going to be reading everything that you have to say about it. So please do let me know what is going on in your thoughts here. Amazing. Please do click subscribe as well. Drop the video a like if you have enjoyed it. Gosh, a delectable medley of footballing splendour. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that, but that was beautiful.